Hey everyone, thank you for showing up for our virtual information session for our Davis Master Level programs. Just so we know, this virtual information session is going to go over our Masters of Science in Organizational Leadership program, our Masters of Business Administration program, as well as our Masters of Science in Applied Business Analytics program. And then we also have the director of those programs, Julie Anderson, here with us, as well as Sam Hicks, who is a current MBA student. So they are going to also be able to answer some questions, some frequently asked questions, and give some of their insight as well. So first and foremost, the best way to kind of keep up to date with everything going on in the world of JU graduate and professional studies is to follow us on our socials. Our Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, probably just the best way to stay connected and make sure you are up to date on all the events that are going around. And then, as I mentioned earlier, but a little session overview, we do have Julie Anderson with us today. Myself, I am the admissions counselor for these programs. Sam Hicks, who's a current MBA student, and then just some things we're going to go over in this virtual information session is why choose JU, some of the programs we offer in the curriculums, the admission process, and then some frequently asked questions. So just starting off, what can a master's degree do for you? So it can accelerate your career by equipping you with the soft and technical skills of a leader. We do have various management courses that we offer, and so these courses are really going to give you kind of just a better insight to how to lead a company effectively and efficiently and make sure you're making the most out of the soft skills that you're developing. Increase job opportunities by making you a more competitive candidate for positions, just a more competitive candidate than people who might not have a master's degree. Improves awareness of global market with professors and students from different global backgrounds, and then just expands your professional network. So moving into why choose JU, we do have an advisor for just this program, so just your program, Maddie Santa Barbara. She's going to help you schedule courses, set up any tutoring sessions if you need them, and then she's just there for guidance throughout the duration of your program. So she's just kind of a resource for you to kind of reach out to while you're in the program. And then if you have any questions, she can answer regarding course content or scheduling. So her contact information is there as well. And then moving along into flexibility, this program was created for working individuals in mind. You can still work your 9 to 5, your 40 hours a week, while also earning your master's degree. So our courses are 7 weeks long. We have courses that run every 7 weeks, so two in the fall, two in the spring, and two in the summer. They are hybrid your way, so there's 3 ways to attend class. Your traditional live in-person way, live online, so just watching the live version of class through a webcam. And then the professors are really great about making sure they include you in the conversation, as well as asynchronous, meaning all of our courses are recorded and you can watch them at any point throughout the week. You just have to make sure your assignments are all in on time. So that just gives you the flexibility to week, however your schedule looks. You can kind of decide what works best for you. And then for classes, the average is like about 25 students per class. This really makes it easy to connect with the professors. You can network with a smaller group of professionals. Make sure you are getting the questions in that you want to ask during class, and kind of make sure that you fully understand and fully get what you want out of your degree. And then our professors are great as well. They work with your busy schedule. We have a couple of professors who were in some of the programs themselves, and so they really do understand what it's like to balance work with earning your master's degree. So very flexible when it comes to coursework. They're all at one point some professionals in their fields. So we have one professor who runs a law firm here in Jax, and so he's able to take those leadership skills he's used in the field and kind of give his insight to the students, and is able to have the students teach more effectively because of it. And then our classes are taught by professors, not TAs. And so asking the questions to the professors, you're going to know exactly what they're looking for on assignments and using their expertise rather than a TA's. And then our content, we're continuously updating our program to ensure it meets the critical learning points. We're leadership focused. Like I mentioned, we have various management level courses, as well as our professors have all, most of them have run businesses themselves, and so they know what it takes to be a leader. And then we are also AACSB accredited, which is important to invest in a business degree that is accredited. It's risky, and only the best business programs have such an accreditation. And then just kind of highlighting some of our concentrations. Our MBA, our Masters of Science in Organizational Leadership program, offers several concentrations. So I just have them listed here. Both programs offer accounting and finance, cybersecurity, portfolio management, healthcare management, management, business analytics. And then our MSOL program is also offers a sports leadership concentration. And then just finally looking over the program options, our Masters of Science in Organizational Leadership ranges from 30 to 36 credits. Masters of Science in Applied Business Analytics ranges from 33 to 45 credits. And then our Masters of Business Administration ranges from 36 to 48 credits. And then Julie, if you just kind of want to go over the differences between the three programs.
Absolutely. And thank you for inviting me to participate in this today, Marissa. The Master in Science and Organizational Leadership is a graduate program that's going to focus more on the human resource side of business as well as the leadership side of business. So you're going to have less of a focus on the quantitative classes and more focused on responsible leadership, teamwork, organizational change, and HR. The Master of Science in Applied Business Analytics is a program where it is you're learning how to interpret data, but not only interpret it, but once you have interpreted it, how do you apply that to the business or the problem that you're trying to solve? Um, you will learn our programming, SQL in as well as Tableau in the MSABA program. And then the Master of Business Administration is kind of the flagship of all graduate business programs. It is a very broad range from the accounting and finance aspect as up and through leadership as well. And you do, as you mentioned, have the option to do concentrations in the MBA and the MSOL if you want to do a concentration in management or accounting and finance.
And then just moving on, just looking at our MBA length. So you do have 36 total credits here. We do have these things called foundation courses, very similar to prereqs, but the only difference is if you have not taken them during your bachelor's degree, they would be included in your curriculum. So you would not need to take them before the start. If all four foundation courses are needed, that would add an extra 12 credits. So if you take about one class per 7 weeks, or two classes per 6 credits, you can finish in about 2 to 3 years. The finish date does depend on necessary foundation courses, and whether you decide to take one class per semester or two classes per semester. As long as you finish within 5 years, then you are all set. But we do see a lot of students who finish before then. And then I'm sure you are all now wondering how to apply due to our great presentation from today. So you're just going to go on the JU website. In the top left corner is going to see future students, graduate and professional, and then you're going to click apply today. We're going to need you to fill out that JU application. What we look for on that application is your unofficial transcripts for review. We look for a 3.0. If you don't have a 3.0, no worries. We do still consider applicants with below a 3.0. At that point, we would just require a resume and statement of intent, and then we will re-review your application. And if you are international, we will need a foreign credential evaluation. We do only accept NACCES approved evaluations, and we can send you a link to approved NACE evaluations. And then just some good points of contact. I am your admissions counselor, so my email is up there. Julie Anderson is the director of the program. She has her email up there. If you have any questions regarding financial aid, Melissa Mack is a great resource. She can answer any of those questions and then offer any advice on outside scholarships. We do accept any form of outside scholarship, so anything that you might bring in can be applied towards your tuition. And then the advisor for these programs is Maddie Santa Barbara as well. And once you are admitted and good to go, she would be the one reaching out with course selection and whatnot. And then now we are going to go through some frequently asked questions for both Sam and Julie. Um, Julie, what is advice for any prospective students?
As far as applying, starting, or in what context?
Yeah, if you have a student, maybe they don't know which program they quite want to quite go into yet, what would your advice be for someone who's just trying to get into the world of master programs and just a good overall program for them?
I would say call me or call Maddie. We can set up an appointment here in the office. We can do it through Zoom or Teams, or we can do it on a phone call. I actually had a meeting with a prospective student earlier today who was asking the same question of which program was better for him, and had a very good, productive conversation, just trying to figure out what his career goals are, what direction he wants to go in. And then we were able to decide what program would be best for him. So it's going to be different for everyone. It depends on your career goals, but we would love to sit down and talk with you and help you to figure that out.
Awesome. Um, Sam, what was the transition from undergrad to grad like for you, and how did you figure out how to balance work and earning your master's degree?
Yeah, great question, Marissa. I think that was kind of one of the hardest struggles is, moving from undergraduate where you're not working as much and you're a full-time student and then going into an MBA position where you're kind of now working a job and then going to night classes. It can be kind of hard. So the good thing about it is, reaching out to financial aid and advisors, you can plan your schedule. It's very flexible. The flex hybrid really helps out because, after a long day of work, it may be hard for you to commute all the way to school. So you have that option to do remote and to be remote. And that's kind of one of the best options in my opinion.
And then Julie, any tips on how to stay organized, when kind of making this transition, or any students who might be worried about the course load?
Yes, well, we always recommend, especially if you're working full time, that you take one class per term. It is possible to take two. I would say about 75% of our students, though, take one class per term. You can always decide if you want to, add later and take two at a time, but I would definitely recommend that you start with just taking one. I also recommend that once you apply, we do have orientation for the summer, the fall, and the spring, and would very much recommend that you attend the orientation where we can give you some little more in detail of how to get acclimated and even do some tutorials of how to use the learning platform Blackboard that is used here at JU. So those would be one class per term, I think is a good way to start, and attend the orientation.
Sam, what does like a day or a week in your life look like as a student? How much time do you kind of dedicate towards your studies? And what does like going to class look like for you?
So for me personally, I have the benefit of a great job on campus as well. So good thing about it is there is, assistantships available. So I'm also a graduate assistant. So I'm able to come in and I help Julie and Maddie as well with kind of with appointments and other students as well. So it's great because I can kind of work on my homework and kind of get that done. So maybe kind of reach out and see if you're really hard on time management and it's hard for you to dedicate that time, this is a good position for you because you do have extra time to dedicate to your studies. Personally, it is very hard to dedicate some time when you're working a full-time job, but it's important. So I try to find time at the end of my day where it's something I'm passionate about, business, finance, and do that at the end of the day and really focus on it. So spending an hour really about once a day, maybe twice a week, um, kind of like on those main subjects where you're really focusing, spend that time, 3 hours, 4 hours, really focusing on that one subject.
That's awesome. And then what is your favorite part about the JU MBA program?
Personally, my favorite part about the JU MBA program is the ability of the flexibility, like the ability to be able to optional and kind of go online, but also be in person is great because you have that ability to be flexible, and that's awesome. So when you really want to go to the class, you can, and that's super important. You should. And I try to really harp on that because when you do something like the Masters of Business Administration, and it's super broad. You get to find those classes. So sitting in those classes that you don't like, you find what your niche is. So that's the good part about the JU MBA program. And I'd say if you don't know what you want to do yet, do that broader program, do that 48 credits. It's going to be more work, but it's going to help you find where you want to go.
I think another important thing to note here too is just really make sure Julie and Maddie are there to help. So really utilize the GAs are there to help. Just utilizing them as resources as well is going to be helpful in you seeing success in the program. And then just moving forward, if you guys do have any questions regarding admissions, regarding course content, you can always contact me with questions. If I don't have the answer for you, I can always put you in contact with someone who does. This is my contact information right here. But thank you all for watching this today and looking for more information regarding our programs.